straight from Boston. It's Founder Thought, the show that has everything from advice, ideas, and inspiration from founders and business owners that made it all happen.
On this episode, Stefanie and Oz speak with Oscar Zepeda of Real Zepeda Tequila, a small batch family-owned tequila company with the mission of bringing an authentic and unique tequila experience to the world.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Founder Thought. This is Stefanie. Today, we're here with Oscar Zepeda.
Hi, Oscar. How are you?
Pretty good. How are you guys? Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
Of course.
So, Oscar, let's talk about your background, Libya, and where you are from, and let's talk about your family, Libya.
Of course. So, again, thank you so much for having me. My name is Oscar Zepeda. I am from Jalisco, Mexico, southwest of the country. Anything you know about Mexico, it's from Jalisco. The mariachi, the tacos, the folklore, tequila, everything is from there. And a little bit about me, I used to play professional soccer back in Mexico. Came here to the United States with an opportunity with a scholarship.
Oh.
And with that, we started an adventure with along with my father to create and impact the American market with something called tequila.
Okay, so how do you like Boston?
I love Boston. Land of opportunity, young crowd, and who wouldn't want to live in a city of champions?
How you like the cold?
That piece, that
Because like from Mexico to here, it's big different, yeah?
that is the asterisk in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
equation.
Big different.
Absolutely. What brought you into Boston?
Unfortunately, in Mexico, you are either in a very good soccer team, but bad education, or you have a very good education, but not as competitive soccer team. The U.S. gave me the opportunity to have both in college. So what drove me to here was that dream to still have a competitive aspect in the sports, but also to really excel in the mind. So how can I be my complete self? And college gave me that opportunity.
Amazing. And you moved here 2017, yes?
I moved here in 2013.
2013. 2017, guys, when you came up with the idea.
That's when we founded the company, correct?
Yeah.
Me and my father.
So when you came up with the idea?
The idea has been in the works from pretty much before I came to the U.S. The whole thing started with the idea of creating a space for small and medium businesses from Latin America to be able to export their products to the U.S. That's how it started. And while learning the learning curve of all the documentation, finding out all the investment that small and medium businesses, producers from Mexico were doing, but not able to reach to the final market, we saw a niche of opportunity to really go and talk to these producers, tell them the areas of opportunity in the side of exportation towards the market, and that's how we started.
So now, when you're on, did your dad work in a tequila before business, or like do you have a history in the tequila business? Because it's hard jump, like to go, okay, let's own a tequila farm or tequila business.
It is. And no. The simple answer is no. And how we translate it into tequila for us is when we started seeing, when a small producer from Mexico comes here to the United States or international markets in a fair, you see that you have a very high quality product. You have, you reach that potential, but you are not able to finally sell it because of X and Y in terms of documentation, label approvals, etc. And we started with this consultant company, creating an incubator of about 500 companies in Mexico to be able to reach that exportation level. And we started exporting beans, tortillas, cheese, sauces, you name it, all these little items that will impact and we're impacting the market. But at the end, we're from Guadalajara, tequila town, and we saw an opportunity, especially here in New England, where we could enter the market with something very unique. And for us, that was tequila.
So I have one more question. We're gonna talk a little bit more about the tequila, but I saw a lot of guys talking about New England. This is a tequila for the New England people. This is a tequila for the why? Well, I just need, I live in New England. I love New England. My home. But why?
Well, the main reason why this is, and you say it very well. We always say this phrase, where Mexico meets New England. So this marriage of the rich culture of New England, the rich culture of Mexico, specifically Jalisco. First, because it represents who we are, me and my father. We love Boston, as I mentioned. We love who we are as Mexicans. So it's a marriage of who we are. But also because it took us around 2 years. We did surveys, we did tastings, we went to restaurant owners, we went to consumers, and we identified that right flavor and that right feeling that a New Englander will like in their tequila experience.
Okay.
Amazing.
Amazing.
I have a question, actually. I wanted to understand a little bit about, so you're talking about that incubator. What are some of the other challenges that folks were coming across? What are things that you noticed or that you identified, or things that you were able to find resolutions for, that were things that kind of grew that incubator scenario?
Well, I could mention a couple of things, and then that's a very good question. Any exportation process, there's a lot of pieces that need to go into it to be able to have a product in the national market to then export it. I will say that first and foremost was the knowledge of what are the regulations entering to the market. So what are those paperworks, label approvals, registrations, depending on the type of product that you have. That is a major issue within small producers, not because they don't want to know, but because where are the resources where they can find these answers. So knowledge is a major impact. Second off is logistics. Well, what is the best way for me to go from point A to point B within this realm of exportation? And third, I will say that knowledge of the target market. So knowing that even though if you have the amazing tortilla, but you go to a place that no one knows tortilla, well, that could be an opportunity, but that also could be a very high challenge. So those three things we identify as barriers that any exportation process really have. But in our area of expertise and our area as geographically in region in Mexico, we were able to really create this cohort and tell them, well, this is what are the steps to be able to export.
Amazing. And so now, when 2017 you started that, you came up. I think you started the business, yes, in 2017. Now the tequila business. What if I'm correct me if I'm wrong? I see every freaking celebrity has a bottle right now. Everybody is
It's like the hot business.
This bottle, this,
Yeah.
this. So like, how you break this market? How you come for this market with, even if celebrities obviously they jumping in this because they know it's liquid market, they have money, it has money, but how you breaking this market with all those celebrities? Because I see like Josh Clooney, the way The Rock I think has one, Kevin Hart, even Michael Jordan has one. It's like crazy stuff. How?
That's a good question. So I will say that right now any celebrity that has more than 500,000 or 1 million followers, all of a sudden they are tequila makers. And that's gives us two indications. First, because the industry, it's very lucrative. People are interested in learning more about the spirit. But for us, it's also an opportunity. The more people outside of Mexico, outside of what the roots are, get into the market, first, they give us the option of learning for more an authentic route. If something is family owned, if something is traditional, might be more impactful than a celebrity talking about it. Now, obviously, we're in a country that is marketing driven, and you need to have brand positioning, and that's where they have the advantage. But at the end, if we go hand by hand in a table, and I explain my story and I explain why my tequila is in the different aspects, processing, etc., feeling, compared to what the celebrity says, then that's when we win the battle.
So this is why I think is a challenge for small business like you, like us, because like, you know, it's like people love celebrity in this. Like United States, people love celebrity, and celebrity, if they say the sun goes from west, everyone, oh yeah, sun gonna come up from. So it's crazy stuff. But this how we, like, even if you tell a story, even people still drove through the celebrity. So what make your tequila different? What, like, if I come for you, put like 5 bottle of tequila in front of me, how your tequila is gonna stand out from those?
Well, I will say that those are the connectors that those celebrities do not have. If I am able to express within an image, within my bottle, within my social media accounts, impacting my local community, etc. My surroundings, starting small, because as you mentioned, small business, as an entrepreneur, you have limited amount of marketing budget. But if you start with those small efforts and reach out with those business owners, communities, restaurant owners, etc., they start learning more about the process. So one thing I will mention is that people, when they try us, they understand what we mean. And second off, they give us the benefit of the doubt based on the offer that we create to them. We are very unique. We're family owned. We're Boston local in this case, for Massachusetts. But most importantly, we do our product for our people. We represent our people. We represent who we are. As you can see in the heart of our crest, it is our worker. And one thing that we have is that we don't have middlemen. The way that we cut our agaves, all the way on how we present our tequila to the restaurant, to the liquor store, to the consumer, it's very unique because we don't have. You're talking to the producer, you're talking to the worker, and that is very empowering.
So, I guess you own a farm or?
We have the lands.
Yeah, the land.
Then we work with a distillery to build our own formula.
Yeah.
And then at the end, we control the logistics side of things to be able to, through our licenses, to sell it.
So when you say this is back to your local community, how?
There are for us, and this is one of the. I appreciate the question because this is one of the reasons, if not the main reason, why me and my father started the business.
Sure.
When we started seeing this learning curve of small and medium businesses, whoever was able to finally export was very exploited in terms of pricing, in terms of contracts, etc., from the buyer. And for us, if we took out the middleman, we're able to represent better our people, and we're able to offer more opportunities back home. Why? Creating more jobs, paying better our workers. That's how we impact. Because for us, the only way to stop migration to happen, because no one wants to leave our country, but you have to because of lack of opportunity, is to create jobs back. And if we have a brand, correct, we have a brand that does not have middlemen, that is where we can have that revenue for that.
Amazing.
So what is your marketing strategy? Because like this, I'm very interested because with all the market or the competition of the market, because I think the business, tequila business, how many billion it is? It's like a huge business right now, and it's a growing, a huge business.
It is a growing business, and indications say that it's not gonna stop.
Yes, I saw this data like crazy.
It is very very interesting and crazy, like you said.
Yeah.
So I will say to the growing side, and actually, can you repeat me the question on the marketing strategy? Sorry. So the marketing strategy is, for us, we don't come with an offer. We create a demand.
Okay.
So how do we make that? By making shows, by making events, tequila classes, tastings, because we know that when people try us, then they understand the quality that we're offering and our story, etc. So what we do is we go to a restaurant, we create an event, we create the demand. The restaurant understands that with our product, they'll be able to increase their tequila sales because of our processing, and I can dive in a little bit more on the specifics of why our tequila is different than the competition. But with that, after the event, after they try it in the restaurant, then they ask, where can I buy it? Then we go to the liquor stores surrounding the areas, and they say, hey, I'm going to have an event. I know this amount of people in percentage-wise, based on my case study, they're going to ask for my product. I would love to tell them they can buy it here. So we create a demand for the liquor stores and for the restaurants instead of coming up with that offer.
And how many people usually in this event join?
It depends on the restaurant. It depends on the event.
Yeah.
So we do have all sorts of events because tequila has a lot of ways that it can be used. If you're happy, you drink. If you're sad, you drink. If you have a long day, you drink. Any occasion. We usually typically want to pair it up with theme events. So right now, holiday season, we're trying to do ugly sweater parties, Thanksgiving parties. When it starts to get warmer,
How are
summer
you going to
bashes,
ugly sweater party?
Ugly sweater party. Well, we usually pick a restaurant that with that scene. We do have DJ brand ambassadors that come. And depending on the size of the restaurant, typically they sell between 50 to 100 tickets.
This is why I love this podcast, because actually we do have a brand of ugly sweater.
Oh, nice.
So we said actually ugly sweater online. We should actually talk about how we can partner together, because actually we do have a company, Get Ugly Sweater. It's our own
Oh,
company.
no way.
Yeah, so we should talk about how we partner this locally. But actually, this is a very smart idea. So now, when you try to create demand, but I feel this when you try to do something like this. I know small business. Listen, we all of us want, and we challenge. Like, you know, we invest. You put a lot of stuff on your shoulder. Sometimes you need to think about how you're gonna be the next month for example. Yeah, we know, we understand, because that's why it is a small business. But with all this said, do you think your strategy and demand strategy is gonna take longer time to build the brand, or guys that you see success with it?
I think the way that the market is right now, you obviously, if you want to make it fast, you need some sort of endorsement, marketing money, because as you mentioned, celebrities are taking over, and the US market is attracted by who said what, who's wearing what. But at the end, that is driving as well that personal side out. And the more we are entering into places where we can offer a personal touch, a more unique experience, that will allow the brand to grow. And while it might take some time, the foundation will be stronger than buying a celebrity saying, I love this tequila. So we do believe in what we're doing, and we do understand it might take some time, but we know we'll be successful.
So, yes, go ahead.
I have a quick question. I wanted to ask a little bit about, because we talked a little bit about some of the areas where you had challenges and some things that you've provided resources and support on. Tell us a little bit about a couple of areas of success. So what are some things that maybe you identified during the process of building and importing that you can share with others? Obviously, we're called Founder Thought, and our whole point of what we're trying to do here today also is obviously want to discuss and have a great conversation, but we also want to provide value to our listeners and advice. So what is something that you think you found that was an area of success, or something that it was sort of an aha moment for you that you can share with us that maybe could apply to other businesses?
Well, for me, and I always say this side of things, for me that aha moment is when you find your passion. For me, finding the passion, at the end, we all want to have a sustainable financial life, etc. But if you don't find, if that motivation is money, when it comes, then that idea will be gone. So for me, that piece of aha moment, that piece of success was when you finally are able to reach an idea, reach a business where you're able to passionately drive all those hours, wake up early, sleep late, and still be happy about it. That moment of success where 9 people out of 10 say, "Oh, I really didn't know tequila could be like this." We explain a lot that tequila for us should not be an aggressive drink. We are against salt and lime. We don't like that. And when we explain that tequila can be drank as a whiskey, as a bourbon on the rocks, it's something out of the blue, and people are not accustomed to that. But when they try it, and after all the work you've done, and after all that means, and having people behind you, and you're representing a country, and you're representing your people, and they say, "Oh, this is the best tequila I ever had," then that's when everything matters. I hope every entrepreneur and everybody listening to this podcast, which is amazing, finds that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Absolutely.
we can't agree more, because I think money comes and goes. I think, but even you're going to have failure, you're going to have success. All of us, we have failure, we have success. But if you don't have passion, you're driven by idea, nothing worth it, nothing. And the end is not
It's
worth
your time.
it.
Yeah, it's your time that you're spending and you're investing.
And the idea behind it. So now, why you guys against salt and this is actually I gotta come on. Why you guys against salt and lime? I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Why?
Well, just let me put you in a perspective. So when you add lime and salt to anything, you kill the flavor. So if you're trying to drink a tequila and then you're getting lime and salt, then that means you're trying to avoid what the tequila tastes.
Yeah.
So
You're trying to get rid of that taste.
Yeah. So why would you even drink that?
Yeah.
Right. So for us, and we have this hashtag on social media through our brand ambassadors, hashtag No Chaser. because that means that the product is quality. If you're adding lime and salt to the equation, which is just this thing that someone in Miami invented a few years ago to kill the flavor of horrible tequila, then it disrupts the image of tequila. So if you really want to try the product, if you really want to try a tequila, then I encourage you to try with those chasers, and then compare what the actual tequila tastes like.
Yeah.
This is a good idea. I gotta try it. And a question for you: how guys came up with your color brand? Like, is the logo, the color brand? If you can talk a little bit about this stuff.
Of course, and there's a lot of symbolism and meaning within our colors and our logo, and I appreciate the question. Our logo is based on our family crest, the Zepeda family. It's something that my father and my grandfather started. There are seven agaves, because in our crest we modify it from the Spanish look to be more inclusive in our nature, which is our worker and the nature itself, the agave. There are 7 agaves. It includes an OZ, which represents who we are. But at the end, what we're trying to convey is that the most important asset that we have is our people and our worker. That's what it means for us.
That's great.
Great. Anything else, Oscar, when you think we should know about your brand?
Well, I would like to say that one of the most technical side of things of why our tequila is different and very interesting is that hydration side of things, and it's very interesting. So the way that just really quick, tequila comes from the agave plant. There's only one type of agave plant that can be used to create tequila.
And this is a plant, a bigger plant, yes.
It's a very big plant.
Looks like a crazy plant, looks like attacking somebody, yes?
Yes, aggressive one.
Aggressive one, okay.
This agave plant takes 7 years to grow.
Oh, wow.
And after you harvest it, you have this plant that now is called a pineapple because it looks like a pineapple. It weighs about 200 pounds.
Wow.
So very big one. But the most important thing and the difference is the processing of what we do. Our tequila is a very artisanal product. And within that, it allows us to have a more hydrated agave. The way that we harvest it, the way we cook it, and the way we distill it, our product is more hydrated. What the body doesn't want is sugar and salt, but the body wants water. If our product as a molecule more hydrated, your body's gonna need less water to digest it. Hence, you'll be able to drink more without getting intoxicated. That's where we stand, because with the competition, our restaurants are able to sell. If someone goes to a restaurant and buys a house margarita, with the competition, they'll be able to drink one. With us, they'll be able to drink 2 or 3 because it's healthier and friendlier to the body.
Oh, wow. And let me ask you, how long it takes, like, from the time you start, let's say, blend one more time, how you say the name of the...
Agave.
Agave. Like, from the time you blend the agave to the product finish, and how long it takes, how long is the process? I'm sure it's not easy process.
No, it's actually this magical aspect of tequila. And like I said, the plant grows 7 years. So 7 years
So
process.
7 years you have to wait for it. This is not
You plant it and you live 7 years, have a life, and then come back.
Yeah.
So after that, it takes around 2 or 3 days to actually make the cooking process, the fermentation, distillation, and then after that, the final product is the silver tequila. Now you have to decide if you want to age that product or you want to keep it in silver. You age it. There are 3 different tiers of aging. You have reposado, which is 2 months. We go all the way to 6 months. We have añejo, which is 1 year. We go all the way to 2 years. And we have extra añejo, which is 3 years, and we go all the way to 5 years. So potentially, if you have an extra añejo product, then you're talking about a 12-year process.
Wow.
So, and what's the difference between why you age it for 2 months, 6 months, or 5, whatever, the 5 years or 2 years up to 5 years? What's the difference between? Like, it's gonna taste different. It's gonna be stronger. It's gonna be higher alcohol. What's the difference?
So all tequila is a regulated spirit. So we do have a tequila regulatory council back in Mexico. The government controls the process of tequila, and all tequilas in the United States are 40% alcohol by volume, 80% proof.
Okay.
So the alcohol volume does not change. What it changes is the flavor, and the more you age a tequila, the more you're gonna gain in flavor, the less you're gonna have in power. So a silver product typically is the most powerful one because it just came out of distillation. The more you age it, you're gonna have more flavors, but you're gonna lose a little bit of power.
Okay.
Yeah, I never know. Okay, so I learned something new.
I have one final question I just wanted to ask. What advice would you give to other new startup businesses or importers or anyone else that might be able to take information from this? What advice would you give them?
Well, I will say two things. The first thing is find your passion. Find that one thing that is motivating you, that is not money, that will keep you awake. And it can be a friend, it can be a dream, it can be an objective, it can be something that is going to impact your community. You're trying to change something, mindset, etc. What is that is going to drive you and wake up very early and go to bed very late, and you're fine with that? Because that is the powerful seed. When the hard times comes, and obviously we all know in this table, small business, you have to come back to that, and that has to be very, very powerful.
Yeah.
So I will say to that. And then the other thing, especially for exporters and small businesses, use all the resources.
Yeah, amazing.
All of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
absolutely.
It's our challenge with the small business. It's our challenge, and I'm sure you know. So when you keep talking about you wake up early and sleep late, I'm wondering, guys, how many hours a week, guys? I'm sure you put a lot of hours in this. I'm sure because guys, you do events, you go for Rusan, you gotta be in the event, you gotta go on Rusan, you gotta sell it, and your dad right now in Germany doing for shows like so. How many you guys are very busy, yes?
Yes, I would say sleep is a luxury. We like to say that in the day we are a tequila company, at night we're an entertainment company. Tequila doesn't sleep.
Yeah.
So you have to force yourself to sleep.
After 2 shots, I think probably will sleep.
You sleep amazing.
So Oscar, tell us a little bit about if someone wanted to get a hold of you or learn a little bit more information, where can they find out more information?
You can always go to our website, realzepedatequila.com. You can follow us. Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn at realzepedatequila.com. We regularly have a newsletter going out. We have events happening every weekend. And with that, you can find a map. You can go to the map and you can see which one is the closest location to you.
And one question I'm going to ask before we... Guys, you are online, yes? And Drizzly, yes?
So the way Drizzly works is a partnership with the liquor stores.
So the liquor store has to have it. You'd have to get it from the local liquor store.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we do put the link of Drizzly, but it's a partnership between the liquor store.
Okay, so...
Excellent. All right, well, thank you so much for joining us. This has been great.
Thank you, Oscar. This really was fun. It was also a lot more... I learned a lot about the process of tequila, so this really was fun.
Thanks to you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for listening to Founder Thought. You can find more episodes wherever you listen to podcasts or on the web at founderthought.com. Founder Thought is a production of Pepper Gang.